In this video, I'm going to demonstrate some of the new functions in Excel, PIVOTBY, GROUPBY, and filter, and show you how you can build a little filter application. So first, I'm going to build a quick pivot table to show you how you can do the same thing with PIVOTBY. So I'm going to click any cell in the list, Insert, Pivot Table. I have my flat file, new worksheet. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pivot category by region and create a very small, simple pivot table. So I'm going to put my category in the row area. I'm going to put my region in the column area. And then I'm going to put my profit in the sigma values area. So now I have a simple pivot table with both columns and rows that shows my profit by region, by category. Now, to create this a little bit more complicated, I'm going to drag revenue into the sigma values area above profit. So now I have revenue and profit by each area, by category. Now I'm going to try to create the exact same pivot table using the brand new PIVOTBY function. So I'm going to go back to my flat file. I'm going to scroll over to the right. I'm going to skip at least 2 columns. So I'm going to go into cell U1 and I'm going to start typing in equals PIVOTBY. So notice I'm going to double click the function, and normally I would tell you to use the formulas and use the old wizard, the formula wizard, but now typing it in gives you options even above the paste function. So to create the same one in the row fields, I'm going to put the category and I'm going to start from row 1. So I'm going to click L1 and then do my Control-Shift down, since this is a very, very long list. As you see, it goes down 2,156 rows. Then I'm going to type a comma. Now it's going to want those column fields. So if you remember, I put the region in the column. So I'm going to click on I1, and Control-Shift down. Now I'm going to type a comma, and first we're just going to start off with a profit like I did with the pivot table. So in the values, I'm going to click cell R1, Control-Shift down to select the entire field, and then type a comma. Now here's the benefit of typing it in as opposed to using the paste function in the formulas tab. Now when there's an option, I get a list of the options. So notice I'm not limited to sum. I can use percent of, or average, or median, or you can read the list. There's a whole bunch of stuff available. And with the lambda function, I can actually create my own function. I'm going to use the old-fashioned sum. So I'm going to double-click sum. Now I'm going to type a comma. And notice now I get a thing about the field headers. So since I started with row 1, I have to click one of the yeses, otherwise my row header is going to be a data field and my number field is going to fail. So I want number 3, yes, and show. Now when I type a comma, the next one is about the grand totals. When I chose the grand totals last time, it actually failed, but I'm going to hold my breath. Just double click the number 1 for grand totals. Close up my formula and hit enter. And it actually worked. So there we go. I have for each category, I have basically the same pivot table that I had before. And I want you to notice the only formula is in cell U1. Notice when I click anywhere else in the table, they're grayed out because this is a spillable function. Now, to show you how easy it is to edit this, let's say, for example, I wanted to include both the revenue and the profit. I can go up in the formula bar, and instead of choosing the sigma value range R1 or the values R1, I'm just going to backspace and change it to a Q. Now I'm just going to hit enter, and notice how for each region I now have the total revenue and the profit. So for the Mid-Atlantic, for the Northeast, I have the revenue and the profit, and my grand totals didn't seem to work on the row level when I did this, but also pretty nice. And again, let's say I wanted to change this to book by region. The book name is in row K, so I'm going to click in cell U1, and instead of my row labels, that first one, instead of L, I'm just going to change it to K and K. So notice now I have my revenue and profit by book, by region. Very nice. Now I'm going to delete the formula that's in cell U1, because next I'm going to demonstrate the group by. Very, very similar to the pivot by, except that it only creates very basic pivot tables. So I'm going to click in cell U1. I'm going to hit my delete, and notice the entire thing goes away because, again, the only formula was in cell U1. Next, I'm going to demonstrate the new group by function. Create a very, very basic pivot table with the group by. So let's say that I wanted profit by salesperson. I'm going to click in cell U1, again, separating from my list by at least 2 columns, equals group by, and then open the parentheses. So since I wanted revenue by salesperson, my row field will be column H by salesperson. So I'm going to click on cell H1 and then do my Control Shift down, very, very handy in a PC. I'm going to type my comma. The next one at once is the values. I wanted profit by salesperson, so I'll choose column R. So I'm going to click in cell R1, Control Shift down, type a comma, and once again, one of the advantages of typing it in, notice I get the options. This time, instead of sum, I'm going to choose percent of. So I'm going to double click percent of, type a comma. Since I started in row 1, I do want one of the 2 yeses, and since I started in row 1, I would like to show my headers. It will be very helpful. So I'm going to choose number 3, yes and show, type a comma. Whether I have my grand totals at the top, I don't really need subtotals, so I'm just going to choose number 1, grand totals, and then close up the formula, hit enter, and now I have my percent of revenue by salesperson. I'm going to select column V, change it to that percent style, and increase the decimal a couple of times, and a very, very nice formula that we have over there. And if I wanted to include both the revenue and the profit, once again, I can click in cell U1. Remember, the formula doesn't exist except in cell U1. Let me double click that to accommodate the widest salesperson name. So once again, I'm going to click in cell U1, and instead of the values being R1 to R2156, I'm going to choose Q to R. And now notice I have my total revenue and my profit. And once again, I can select column W on the Home tab, look like percentages, and increase it a couple of times. So for each salesperson now, I have my percent of total revenue and percent of total profit. And again, for example, if I wanted to change this to books are in column K, so I could just change H to K, making sure once again that I'm in cell U1. And of course, my percentages only did that part of the column, but as you can see, the GROUPBY function has now changed to accommodate book name as opposed to salesperson. The next one I'm going to demonstrate is filter. So I'm going to click in cell U1. I'm going to hit my delete key. But this time I'm going to delete columns U, V, and W. Since I had that percent format, it's going to mess up some of my pivot tables. So delete U, V, and W. There's nothing in there now. And the last one that I'm going to demonstrate is the filter function. So let's say, for example, that I was only interested in a particular salesperson. For example, Benjamin Hernandez. I could use this new filter function to bring up only Benjamin Hernandez. So first I'm going to just demonstrate the filter function. Then I'm going to build a nice little application that is going to help us with that filter function. So I'm going to type equals filter and open the parentheses. This time I'm going to include the entire array, but you could only include part of the array as long as it includes what you want to filter by. So I'm going to click cell A1, Control Shift down, and then while I'm holding the Control and Shift, I'm going to hit the side arrow, and I've selected the entire list. Now I'm going to type a comma. So I talked about a particular salesperson, Benjamin Hernandez. So what I want to do is for the include, I want to choose column H. So click in cell H1, Control Shift down. Then what I want to type is an equal sign. And I can either type Benjamin Hernandez or click in a cell that has Benjamin Hernandez. So I'm going to click in cell H2. H2. There we go. Now I'm going to type a close parentheses because this is it for this function. It's very, very simple. And hit enter. And notice now I have my list filtered for only Benjamin Hernandez. So notice I have my entire list and it does not have the headers, and my first row is folded. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a little application. I'm going to make this a little bit better. So I'm going to click in cell U1, and I'm going to hit the delete key. I'm going to find all of my salespeople, and I'm going to create a little application. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new worksheet. I'm going to click the plus down at the bottom. I'm going to go back to my flat file, and I'm going to select all of column H. I'm going to start with H2 because I don't want salesperson. So I'm going to click on cell H2, Control Shift down. I'm going to copy that range, go to my new worksheet, click cell A1, and hit the paste button. Now I don't have to worry about the column size or anything. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right to the Data tab, making sure that that's still selected. If it's not, make sure it's selected. I'm going to go to the Data tab, and in the Data Tools group, I'm going to click Remove Duplicates. So there's only one column here. I click OK, and now I have a list on sheet 2 of all of my salespeople without duplicates. I'm going to go back now to my flat file, and I'm going to go over here to the right, and I'm going to click in cell U2. I'm going to click my Data tab once again, and this time I'm going to click the Data Validation button. If you click the down arrow, just choose Data Validation, but I'm going to click the button. So in the settings, in the Allow, I'm going to allow a list, and the source of the list is going to be the sales people that I just put on sheet 2. So I'm going to click in the source. I'm going to go to sheet 2 and select the range A1 to A10 and click OK. Now what I want to do when I build my function is to click the down arrow and to choose a salesperson. Now I'm going to copy my headers. So I'm going to select A1 all the way out to R1, copy, and paste in cell W1. In cell W2 now, I'm going to use that filter function. So equals filter, open the parentheses. I'm going to choose the entire array since I did all of the headers. Control-Shift down, and then out to choose the entire array. Type a comma. I'm going to scroll up. Now what I'm going to type after the comma is H2, Control-Shift down to H2156 equals. Now I'm going to click on that data validation cell that I just created. So equals U1, and then I am going to close up the formula. I'm going to hit enter, and we now have a list with headers of only Angie Meany. I'll do all of my column widths just to make this a little bit easier to read. But notice now with this filter function, if I choose the down arrow to Susan Clark, it changes automatically to all of the orders with Susan Clark. If I click the down arrow, Brenda Sullivan, all of Brenda Sullivan's orders, and finally Maureen Millay, all of Maureen Millay's orders. So with this brand new filter function, and again, notice the only formula is in cell W2. All of the others are grayed out. We were able to create an application where you can just choose the salesperson, and the filter function displays all of the orders for that salesperson automatically.